Welcome back to Wet Betty Dirty Hands. On this week's episode, we're dodging raindrops and trying to get as much done as we can in between the never-ending rainstorm. It's been one of those weeks where the weather has its own plans, but we're pushing through ahead regardless. This time around, we're kicking off a big one, preparing a pad for a new workshop extension. We'll be getting stuck into the groundworks and boxing up footings. So grab a cuppa, settle in, let's see how far we can get before the next downpour rolls in. Because the rain, mud and shine, there's nothing to it but to do it. Here at Black Betty Dirty Hands.
Whoa, Black Betty, dirty hands, building dreams, working the land. From the yard to the workshop floor, fix it, grow it, always more. Whoa, Black Betty, dirty hands, that's who I am.
Alright, let's set the stage for this week's big job. The new workshop extension is going to be a 6x6 meter shed, and yep, you guessed it, it was another Facebook Marketplace find. You know I can't resist a good bargain, and this one was going to give us the extra space we desperately need for future projects. To get things rolling, we're building a solid foundation using a mix of asphalt and road base. This stuff's been sitting around for a while, so it's compacted like concrete in some spots, so it takes a little bit of convincing to move, but it'll give us a solid, stable base to work with. We're also setting up the boxing. These will be 300 millimeters wide, 6 meters long by 75 mil deep. The plan is to eventually lay a slab, but for right now the priority is the shed up and functional. Smooth floors can come later, but for now the thing we need most is some dry storage. Today's workhorse of the episode is a Series 5 year 2000 Kanga mini digger, a true Aussie classic when it comes to compact earth moving. This machine was built tough and designed to squeeze in tight spots while still packing a punch. With a 16 horsepower engine and a tipper that can carry 250 kilos, it's perfect for a job like spreading road base, trenching, or prepping a pad like we're doing today. This little unit has no frills, no fancy tech, just old school reliability and grunt. And the best part, this machine has been in my family for a good chunk of my life. Honestly, I think it might be the son my dad always wanted. And with all the love we've got for this little machine, the backbone of our shed build, Nothing To It House Band has dedicated this week's song to the mighty Kanga. It's only fitting that the unsung hero of so many dirty hand projects get its own anthem. So while we break a sweat, kick back and enjoy this tribute to the mini digger that could.
Now this is a story all about how a little Kanga flips some dirt around and around. And I'd like to take a minute, just sit right through it. I'll tell you how it digs up Black Betty, nothing to it but to do it.
Yo, in a big backyard where the ground was bare, this Kanga rolled up like it owned the air. Digging all day, moving mulch like a boss, hauling out roots, ain't no time for a loss. It was scooping and scraping, cleaning up good, making fresh paths all over the hood. Did one deep trench and the folks all stared. They said, that little digger's got some bite, beware. I hollered to my crew, yo, look at it, do it. They said, don't overthink, ain't nothing to it but to do it. So I grabbed my gloves and I jumped right in. Me and the Kanga, yeah, we both wore grins. Pulled up to Black Betty about 7 or 8. The yard was a jungle, just overgrowth and hate. I looked at that Kanga and I said, let's clear this mess. Now the place is looking fresh, no stress, just progress.
Just sit right through it. I'll tell you how it digs up Black Betty. Nothing to it but to do it. In a big backyard where the ground was bare, this Kanga rolled up like it owned the air. Digging all day, moving more
hollered to my crew, yo, look at it, do it. They said, don't overthink, ain't nothing to it but to do it. So I grabbed my gloves and I jumped right in. Me and the Kanga, yeah, we both wore grins. Pulled up to Black Betty, about 7 or 8. The yard was a jungle, just overgrowth and hate. I looked at that Kanga and I said, let's clear this mess. Now the place is looking fresh, no stress, just progress.
So once we had a solid base down for our footings to sit on, we made up some boxing using 30 by 75mm pine. We set about squaring them up both to each other and to the shed itself. It's one of those measure twice kind of jobs. Make sure everything's lined up nice and true. The shed is second hand, but we want it to stand true and strong for years to come. And that wraps up another episode of Wet Betty Dirty Hands. Big thanks as always for tuning in and coming along for the ride. If you're enjoying the journey, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel and drop a comment. It really helps the growth of the channel. Shout out to the Nothing to It House band for bringing in the good vibes once again. Their tracks are now available on Spotify, iHeartRadio and all other major music platforms. I'll leave on this note. One of the hardest parts about having big goals is not stopping when it gets tough. It's important to remember that even when you're trudging through the mud, each step forward is still a step forward. And at the end of the day, there really is nothing to it but to do it. See you on the next one.